talk about the Scandinavian living room style. This is great if you like a cozy, functional space and like simplicity. I'm Nikki D, and I'm your go-to resource for design inspiration, furniture, and decor that's going to make your home look like you hired a designer. Only you're going to do the work yourself. But shh, it's going to be our secret, and I am fully confident that you can do it. Before we start, make sure to like, subscribe so you get that bell notification, and then leave a comment for anything that you want to see in the future. So I'm going to link the blog post to this video in the comments so that you can refer back to it. But let's get right into the Scandinavian living room style. Again, this is going to be clean and simple. It actually started in the Nordic countries because they lacked light. So because their spaces, they had extended periods of darkness, and just during the winters, they were long and dreary, almost like depressing. So because of that, they needed bright and airy spaces that brought in nature and the natural color and the greenery and just soft, cozy materials so that it could liven up the space and make them feel happy and rejuvenated. So this is actually a very popular interior design style, and it is found in IKEA, in Castellari. So you'll see a lot on Instagram, on Pinterest. Very popular because of its minimalist aspect to it. There's going to be cozy blankets and textures that just create a warm, inviting atmosphere. But the important part of this is it's clutter-free. So this is more for that minimalist look, and it's not going to have a lot of tchotchkes and everything like that. It's going to be super intentional and purposeful. So let's talk about the look of the Scandinavian design style. So you can see here that we have very light neutral color palette. We have white walls, so think White Dove or Simply White by Benjamin Moore. We have wood tones mixed in. We have burl wood, which has that natural element and texture to it because of the burls of the wood. We have linen fabrics, cottons. We have nubby textures in our area rugs, but where the texture creates the pattern, not so much a print. Then we have soft greenery, we have sculptural pieces of furniture, we might have curved edges, but we also might have mid-century modern looking pieces as well mixed in, and a lot of greenery and plants, wood tones. So that's just an overview. Now we're going to talk about the colors of the Scandinavian design style. So we have light wood flooring, light wood tones. We have whites, beiges, soft grays. We might have light blue, light green, very pale pink. We might have a soft sage green, charcoal, but soft. So nothing harsh. If we have black, it'll be in accents around like picture frames or things like that, but not that harsh, heavy black detail that you might see currently trending. Muted earth tones, so think of your rusts and greenery, but very soft and muted, not deep and dark colors. Here's another example of the minimalist and functionality. So you might have coffee tables that have storage in it. You might have ottomans that the top lifts up and has storage in it. Again, so that we can create a space that's clutter-free and that is very practical and comfortable. So that's super important. Keeping the neutral colors. Again, we're going to pop it with greenery and texture. We're also going to have rooms that feel larger because they're so light and airy because of those dark, dreary winters that we needed to brighten up the spaces. So that's the whole purpose of this design style. Organic materials, so you saw the burl wood, but organic shapes in the materials and different sculptural silhouettes of the furniture pieces, and bringing in that natural element. Here's another image where you see the organic coffee table that has that organic shape that almost looks like a kidney stone. It's not an oval, it's not a circle, it's just organic and structural. And that is the look that we have. We have upholstered sofas that have a wood platform base. So bringing in the contrast and the warmth from the wood against the lightness of the sofa fabric. We have multiple patterns on our pillows, but they're very muted, maybe geometric or just texture with the knit cotton fabric or wool. We have stripe details, but again, a very soft and muted color palette. Fringe on our area rug that adds in another element of texture. Greenery in the corners that adds in contrast to the lighter color palette, but also brings in the outdoors and nature. We're going to have sleek lines, simple forms, multi-purpose furniture. That is super important. When it comes to our sofa and our seating, we're going to have leather materials, we're going to have linen, we're going to have maybe hide materials, if you can get faux hide as well, if you like it to be animal free and not have any cruelty animal issues going on in your space. And then you're going to have maybe nesting coffee tables that have storage to it, stripes or details, mixing of tones, having drawers or open cabinets to the storage side tables for, again, keeping it clutter free. I can't emphasize that enough. This is not a space that is going to have a lot of stuff all over. It's going to be super intentional and purposeful. Think of cozy sofas that almost you relax right into, a fireplace crackling with candles, nesting coffee tables. The textiles in the Scandinavian design style are going to be layered. So we're going to have throw pillows, we're going to have um, rugs, layering of rugs. So you'll see some images where we have layering of rugs. We may have a gallery wall for artwork and botanicals, but very soft colors of nature. We may have thin white or black frame outline details to highlight the gallery wall, but it's not going to be anything thick or bold. We're going to have layering of pillows, soft details, wool blankets, cotton throws, linen curtains, and again, sheers on the curtains or bare curtains so that it brings in the natural element from the sunshine and the lightness and just happy warmth from that sun glowing on you. We're going to have our rugs and our throws for extra texture and warmth and comfort on your feet. Cushions, you might have wool, cotton, or linen fabrics in this style, vases, and sculptural pieces, but again, in neutral color tones. Our lighting in this design style is going to be layered. So we're going to have accent lighting. We might have a picture accent light over our wall art. We may have our overhead chandelier, but very simple and clean as you see in this image. We might have table lamps or sconces layered in. We might have those rust tones that you see from the leather, so that almost like camel color, which is then pulled into the texture of the rattan element or wicker element that's in the wall art. We have greenery mixed on the walls. We have wood beams, but in light wood tones. So a lot of light. We have birch wood materials, pine, spruce. Those are some of the different materials that you'll see in this design style. You'll also see the layering of rugs. So you might have a solid rug underneath that has texture in a neutral tone, like this ivory one that you see here. But then we'll have an oriental rug on top of that, layered, that has those rust tones that are pulled out into our sofa, into our pillows, into our wall decor. We have our Roman shades that are in that textured sisal fabric. So just all natural elements, softness, again, layered lighting, iconic fixtures, pendant lights, floor lamps, layering of different lighting, not just your overhead light, not just one fixture. It's going to be layered so that it has that warm and cozy feeling to it, so that we can also put our lighting on dimmer switches to tone it down and set the atmosphere and the mood. That's going to be super important as well. So some of the tips and tricks of this design style is going to go hygge. So hygge, and I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, is going to be a Danish concept that essentially means coziness and warm and inviting spaces. So you can see our walls are white. Again, white dove, simply white, those neutral white colors that are going to be light and airy. We have our greenery, we have sage greens mixed in just stripes or soft, subtle geometric patterns, nothing bold, mixing of the leather textures. You see that we have the wood ladder just as a decorative element, and then we have a throw hanging over it. So very cozy and intentional. Greenery is super important in this design style. So hanging of potted plants, almost having like a natural jungle in your own home, mixing in snake plants, ferns, succulents. Succulents are great if you're not someone who is talented with plants, because you only need to water them like once a month and they'll stay alive. So those are great if you're just starting out and just want to bring some greenery into your home. Go for the succulents. If you have a Trader Joe's nearby, they have fabulous succulents as well. Maintaining your clutter-free space. Again, IKEA and Castellari are great places to shop for the Scandinavian design trend. We want to have a space that is clutter-free, minimalistic. We want to have some statement pieces that are organic and will make a statement, but it's going to be in the detailing of the contrast between the wood and the fabric. Our statement piece might be our abstract artwork that's very soft and has a natural nature scenery to it. So creating focal points, creating wall art and gallery walls, but again, thin, simple frames. So this style is all about simplicity, simple elements, intentional, not having a ton of clutter, not having a ton of color. We are very neutral. We're very subdued, very soothing, almost like Zen-like. Think of a meditative space, but adding in that texture and warmth. So this is a perfect design style, especially if you live somewhere that's cold and dreary, because you can really create a space that's inviting and welcoming. I hope this was helpful in learning about the Scandinavian living room design style and helps you incorporate this look into your home. Again, if you're trying to incorporate this look, and the first step I would say is to declutter and empty it out. Go with your neutral base. You can always layer in some rust or some sage greens to add some pops of color if you want interest, and just layer it in subtly and intentionally. Come back because I'm going to show you how to create a boho Scandi living room. So that's combining the look of the Bohemian style and the Scandinavian style together, which is another popular look. So come back for that. Make sure that you like and subscribe the video, and then you'll get the notifications of when new content comes out. And I'll link everything in the description below. Have a great day and happy designing.